so lovely to have you with us on the programme this afternoon. Why did you choose physio, first of all?
I think it was a profession that can really make a difference in people's lives, like Carol here.
Yeah, we should say Carol has been a patient of yours.
Yes, so
By
yeah.
coincidence, yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous lady.
Oh, bless. Yeah, and just seeing how people come out of that and, get back into doing things they love, like walking or getting back into work or social situations, I think we take for granted how injury can affect people's lives.
And in the time since you've been qualified, you qualified back in 2005, 2006. How has physio changed? Are the basics very much the same? Does it evolve in the same way as other medical practices?
I think, yes, there's been a big shift. Initially, there was a lot of using electrotherapy models, machines, etc. And as it stands today, I think we've gone away from that quite a bit. And what we now are trying to push are for exercise and people actually taking health into their own hands and just trying to get moving a bit more and doing exercise. So it's self-management.
I'm intrigued to know, actually, what brought you to the Isle of Man in the first place, because you grew up in South Africa, didn't you? So you did your degree out there as well. So what actually brought you here?
I actually came to the UK first, and I worked there as a physiotherapist. I was offered a job on the Isle of Man, and I think like everybody else, Isle of Man. And then you go and Google search Isle of Man, and then you see the beautiful pictures. And I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, it was just a bit of a better pay as well. So I came over with that, and then 2 years after being here, I met my husband, and a decade later, I'm still here.
Now, when we talk about physio, I mean, Carol's experience, that was something that she needed after having a fall. But many people sort of live with things on a day-to-day basis, like back pain. What are the main causes of things like that? Is it to do with posture? Is it because we're not moving enough now?
I would say that's there's so many different causes of back pain. I think there is a school of thought which would agree that a lot of the time it is just sitting more and not moving. I mean, some back pain is caused due to injury, and they usually settle relatively quickly if doing the right things, trying to get moving more, doing a bit of exercise. But I'd definitely say, you do have to seek professional help if you feel it's not settled in a couple of weeks. It's a good idea to try and get you back on track by seeing a physiotherapist.
When you talk about doing the right thing, obviously doing exercises that you have been given from the physio is very important. Is now a good time, Carol, to ask you how good you were at doing that?
I was an excellent patient.
I can concur with that. Yes,
But
definitely.
I was determined to get better, and I had been told that physiotherapy was the answer, and I did everything to the letter, and I can't recommend it highly enough. It really is that important, and I in fact still stand at my kitchen worktop and do the little exercises that I was given, a couple of months ago. I'm still doing those just out of habit, and it's no bad thing. I think it just keeps me moving.
Yeah.
One of the things that you're quite passionate about as well, Swasti, is this idea of Pilates being really crucial to the idea of getting better and also sort of looking after your back health, I suppose. What is it about Pilates? Why does it work so well?
Pilates focuses on core strength, so core strength being the muscles within the middle of our body, more our tummies, our back muscles, and then we talk about things like the pelvic floor sitting beneath us, and your diaphragm sitting beneath your rib cage. So just the center, and if the center is stronger, things above and below work better, like your arms and your legs can work better. I think just overall doing normal exercise, walking, swimming is a great idea. But with core strength, it keeps your back healthy, it keeps your arms, your legs, everything else works in sync with that. So just targeting more on your core muscles with Pilates.
And this is something that is approved by NICE as well.
Yes, so group exercise and Pilates is cited in NICE guidelines, yes.
And we should say was also founded here in the Isle of Man.
Oh yes, Joseph Pilates. Good old Joseph.
And in fact, you went to the extent, didn't you, of recently arranging for lecturers to come over here to the island?
Yeah, so about a year ago, I arranged for lecturers to come over and teach. It was about 12 physiotherapists, more about Pilates and just better ways in which we can structure classes, etc. Pilates is taught to us in university, so it's something that we do use in day-to-day physiotherapy. But the lecturers coming over was to teach you more about group dynamics and how to better run group classes, which I feel a few physiotherapists now use it to teach a group Pilates, as I do as well.
And are there any limitations with regard to who can take part in these sort of things? Because presumably you have to have some movement in your back already.
I would say a big one is you should be able to get on and off the floor safely. There are elements such as chair-based Pilates for people who can't get on and off the floor, but most of the Pilates that I teach is mat work-based, and that would mean safely getting onto and off the floor.
So if you do Pilates and you get to the extent that you are sort of really working on your core, as you say, does that mean that you're less likely to fall foul of a sort of a back injury or back pain?
Yes, so you would have to keep up regular practice in Pilates to try. So it's about injury prevention, so to speak. So like the English football club, rugby clubs, things like that, use Pilates just to try and keep athletes in peak performance, and that reduces the chances of injury, be it the back or arms or legs or things like that.
And how does Pilates differ from yoga in this instance?
So I think they both do cross over. Pilates focuses more on strength. Yoga is on strength, but it also, I would say the focus is more on stretching. In Pilates, we do stretches, but just not to the extent of yoga. I know of a handful of people who find yoga a bit intimidating. Don't get me wrong, Pilates, there are some exercises that can be more difficult, but the way I structure classes are such that if people want it to be more difficult, I'll give them a variation of the exercise to make it more challenging.
It always makes me want to sit up straight
I
whenever
know,
we're talking
me
about this sort of
too.
exercise. And this does lead us on to the fact I said in the introduction that the new year is going to see something of a new start for you, because you're starting your own business. How did that all come about?
Well, how did it all come about? My husband and I built a house, and within the house there's a studio. And one night after going out for a few drinks, I came home, and it must have been like 3 a.m, and took out a ruler and a pencil and drew our house. And I kid you not, that house that I drew was put onto plans and built, and that's the house we live in. So when I say put onto plans, I took my pencil drawn house to an architect and said, can you put this on this piece of land we want to purchase, and submit it to planning. And and then in this plan there was a studio within the plans, because I do want to start working from home, and it's a beautiful location with sea views and underfloor heating. And for the month of January, classes are free for your first class, shall I say, just so people can come and try it out, see if it's something they're interested in. And I'm hoping that, like from people I have taught previously and do teach now, I've had a lot of positive feedback in how it makes them feel better and helps keep back pain at bay and helps keep them move with more ease.
And it sounds like it's obviously a lovely location. How important is the environment that you're in while you're doing exercise like that?
I definitely say the environment plays a big part, because you want that relaxation to be there. And if you're out with, the rolling hills and the sea, you can see the birds going past, and it's quite a quiet, relaxed environment. You're more likely to focus and concentrate on the task at hand and not be distracted by things around you. So yes, definitely. Everyone wants somewhere nice to exercise, or somewhere nice to live, or somewhere nice to be. I think it's just human nature to want somewhere that's lovely to go to, and I would say it's a bit of a retreat, really. the business is called Aurora Pilates, and Aurora is the house name because my husband and I have went in search of the Aurora Borealis on the Isle of Man and never to have seen it. And then when we looked up the word Aurora, it actually means goddess of the dawn. And from where we're situated, we see the sunrise. So it's just such an apt name, and it's like a new beginning. So, watching the sunrise. So I think it works quite well.